there are pros and cons to the different legislations around, but obviously you're stuck with pretty much the one that your state has, and if you're working in New South Wales, then you're stuck with the New South Wales one, and the same goes for whatever state.
I think that must be obviously a unique and sort of difficult thing to navigate for those operators that do service multiple states as well, because what they might be used to is something very different to across the border, where you might expand into, and then all of a sudden the rules have changed a little bit.
Oh yeah, totally, and the timeframes change. So a big thing about security of payment is really that the key feature of it is these really strict timeframes. So and there's no leeway. There's no calling up and getting an extension or an application. I mean, like with the court, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of leeway, and a lot of extensions can be had, and matters go on for years and years because of extensions. Whereas the Security of Payment Act, and this is true for every state, is very, very strict. That's a key feature of it. So you're exactly right. You might be used to doing work in New South Wales, and you get 10 business days to provide a payment schedule to your contractors, and then you go to another state and it's 15, which is obviously better. So it's probably worse to be used to 15 and then go somewhere where it's 10. Yeah. But I mean, you get the point that essentially you do have to be well informed in the state that you're working in, because you can really get caught out. It's quite harsh, the Security of Payment Act. So say if you're a contractor and you've got subbies and they send you a payment claim, you don't respond in time, then you pretty much have to pay them. Otherwise you're facing sort of summary judgment or adjudication or whatever.
Yeah,
so it
right.
can be,
Cool. So, and a lot of that is a lot of the Payment Act there is to protect the subcontractor.
Yes, yeah, it is. It is. That's exactly what it's designed for. I mean, without it, previously, without it, it was a terrible situation, because essentially parties would just withhold payment. They would allege disputes, and really the only way you could get paid is by going to court. And often, I think one of the main motivators for the security of payment legislation was to protect the smaller players. Because obviously, if you're a big contractor and you've got a lot of resources behind you, then you go, yes, go ahead and sue me.
We'll take it to court. We got the resources.
I can afford that. I can also afford I can afford the time. Whereas if you're a subcontractor, you need that cash flow, and that's in fact one of the sort of the key sort of catchphrases of security of payment, and that is that cash flow is the lifeblood of the construction industry. So that's been a sort of motivating factor and I suppose a philosophy behind any of the acts or changes to the acts.